Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master, our channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins, a hidden treasure right in the palm of your hand. If you've ever found a seemingly ordinary coin and wondered whether it could be worth far more than its face value, then you're in for an incredible journey. Today, we're unveiling the mysterious and astonishing story behind a 25-cent piece, yes, just a $quarter minted in the year 1967. That has stunned collectors and experts alike with an estimated worth of a jaw-dropping $21 million. It's a tale wrapped in history, minting anomalies, rare errors, and fascinating possibilities that transformed a regular circulating coin into one of the most sought-after rarities in the numismatic world. The 1967 Washington quarter was part of a pivotal time in American coinage history. The mid to late 1960s marked a transitional phase for U.S. currency, particularly due to the Coinage Act of 1965, which had eliminated silver from the dime and quarter. That decision alone had far-reaching implications for how coins were made and perceived. As a result, the 1967 quarter was struck on a clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupidnickel instead of the 90% silver previously used. While this may seem like a technical shift, it opened the door to several unexpected results during the minting process, especially as the U.S. Mint was adjusting to new procedures and equipment during this era of change. In 1967, the U.S. Mint also suspended the use of mint marks on coins, an unprecedented move meant to discourage hoarding by collectors who were capitalizing on coins from different mints. While this was a temporary suspension, it introduced a layer of complexity that continues to puzzle collectors today. Most 1967 quarters have no mint mark, which is perfectly normal for that year. However, when rare examples appear to have traces of mint marks or indications of anomalies in that region of the coin, numismatists take notice. These coins defy the standard and enter a class of their own, raising questions about whether they were improperly struck using old dies or experimental test strikes that accidentally made their way into circulation. Now, imagine one such 1967 quarter exhibiting signs of a faint S or D where there should be no mint mark at all. This is precisely the kind of mystery that can launch a coin from being pocket change to a multi-million-dollar artifact. Experts have speculated that these anomalies could be the result of transitional die errors, possibly caused by the reuse of mint dies from other years or mints. Transitional errors are highly coveted in the collecting world because they represent a breach in the expected minting protocol, a deviation that could only occur under very specific and rare circumstances. When these mistakes happen in conjunction with other errors like off-center strikes, doubled dies, planchet anomalies, or wrong metal compositions, the coin's uniqueness becomes undeniable. One of the most compelling reasons a 1967 Washington quarter could command such a monumental price tag is the presence of multiple errors layered upon one another, multiplying its rarity exponentially. Picture a coin that is not only struck on a wrong planchet but also features a double die obverse and exhibits traces of a mint mark that shouldn't be there. Each error alone might raise the coin's value by hundreds or thousands of dollars, but together they form a perfect storm of rarity that elevates its status to legendary. In the numismatic world, such specimens are the equivalent of finding a Picasso in your attic. Doubled die errors are a particularly fascinating subset of minting anomalies. These occur when the die used to strike the coin has been improperly manufactured, resulting in a doubling of the design features, often most noticeable on the lettering, the date, or key details like George Washington's eye, nose, or hairlines. A 1967 quarter with a double die error on the obverse could reveal subtle but significant duplications in the word liberty, the phrase "I in God we trust," or the date itself. These errors are rare for the year 1967 due to the strict quality control measures being implemented, which makes any known example all the more exceptional. Planchet errors are another critical element in elevating a coin's value. The planchet is the blank disc upon which the coin's design is struck. When a coin is struck on the wrong planchet, for example, a quarter design mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, or a foreign coin planchet, the results can be astonishing. These errors are almost always accidental and usually occur during the production phase when leftover planchets from other denominations or test strikes are fed into the press by mistake. A 1967 quarter struck on a silver dime planchet, for instance, would weigh less than a normal quarter and might display incomplete designs along the edge, but its intrinsic and collector value could be immense, particularly due to the transitional nature of the time period. Then there's the curious case of off-metal errors, where a coin is struck using a metal composition not intended for that denomination or year. While the 1967 quarter was officially made from a clad composition, rumors and unverified findings hint at possible specimens accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964 or earlier. Such an error would not only challenge our understanding of the minting process during this transitional era but also present an unparalleled find for collectors. These pieces would be heavier than normal quarters and exhibit a distinct silver hue and ring when dropped, characteristics that experts test for when authenticating potential off-metal strikes. The condition of a coin plays a huge role in its valuation as well. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. A 1967 quarter with extreme rarity factors such as a combination of minting errors that also grades mint state, MS, 65 or higher could be exponentially more valuable than the same coin in circulated condition. Preservation adds to the coin's desirability, especially when it allows all the minting anomalies to be clearly visible under magnification. One particularly intriguing theory surrounding the 1967 Washington quarter's astronomical value relates to experimental coins and test strikes. During transitional years, the U.S. Mint sometimes tested different metals or striking techniques in preparation for mass production. These test strikes were never intended for public release and are often unmarked, undated, or produced in extremely limited quantities. However, history has shown that some of these experimental coins have found their way into circulation due to human error or oversight. If a 1967 quarter matching the profile of a test strike were discovered with odd weight, different coloration, or unusual alloy and authenticated by leading grading agencies, its value could surpass all expectations. Collectors and investors alike have long scoured bank rolls, coin shows, estate sales, and flea markets in search of the elusive million-dollar coin. And for the 1967 Washington quarter, every new discovery adds another layer to its mystique. Numismatic forums and auction houses have seen spirited bidding wars for specimens exhibiting partial mint marks, unusual luster, or unconfirmed errors that warrant further investigation. These debates only serve to elevate the coin's legendary status, fueling speculation about how many more might still be out there hiding in plain sight. Authentication is key in establishing the legitimacy and value of a rare coin. Organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) use advanced technology and decades of expertise to certify coins, assign grades, and provide a verifiable track record of their features. If a 1967 quarter were to be certified by these institutions as having multiple significant errors, especially those previously undocumented, its auction value could realistically reach into the multi-million-dollar range. And if such a coin carried with it a compelling backstory, such as discovery in an old collection or inherited estate, the provenance could add further allure. Stories have emerged from coin enthusiasts who, through sheer luck or persistent hunting, have stumbled upon 1967 quarters with faint die clashes, rotated dies, struck through errors, or even partial collar strikes. Each error telling its own story about a momentary lapse in an otherwise precise minting process. These small imperfections, when documented and authenticated, transform the coin from a common artifact of commerce into a prized relic of numismatic history. The 1967 Washington quarter thus serves as a reminder that the ordinary can, under extraordinary circumstances, become legendary. Every detail, from its metallic composition to the tiniest anomaly in its strike, matters in determining its value. The possibility that such a coin could be lying unnoticed in a drawer, a collection, or even in circulation is what keeps the numismatic world buzzing with excitement. The journey from a 25-cent coin to a $21 million masterpiece is not just about rarity but also about the story each coin tells. It's about the historical context of the 1960s, a time of change and experimentation in American coinage. It's about the human element in the minting process, the mistakes, the oversights, the experiments gone awry. And most importantly, it's about discovery. The idea that anyone, yes, anyone, could find such a coin by accident is what fuels the passion of collectors around the world. So, the next time you hold a quarter in your hand, especially one from 1967, take a moment to examine it closely. Look at the rim, the details on Washington's profile, the surface. Today, we'll explore the story behind a coin that has left collectors, experts, and numismatists in absolute awe. This is the tale of the 1994 Washington quarter, a coin minted in Denver with a face value of just 25 cents but now regarded by some collectors and institutions as being worth up to $16 million due to a combination of minting errors, production anomalies, unique characteristics, and a trail of mystery surrounding its origin and survival. Get ready to dive deep into the rare universe of U.S. coinage and the astonishing story of one of the most enigmatic quarters in existence. The Washington quarter has long held a respected place in American coinage. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it was originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue. However, due to its popularity and the historical figure it represents, it quickly became a permanent part of American circulating coinage. Over the years, millions upon millions of Washington quarters have been minted, spanning multiple decades, mint locations, and design changes. The 1994D version is, at first glance, just one of those many coins. Yet, beneath its modest appearance lies a combination of rare attributes that have elevated it to legendary status. To understand why a single 1994D Washington quarter could be valued at $16 million, we need to begin by examining its general mintage. The Denver Mint produced over 880 million Washington quarters in 1994. Most of these coins went into general circulation, used in everyday transactions, vending machines, toll booths, and cash registers. Because of this large mintage figure, the vast majority of 1994D quarters are worth only their face value, maybe slightly more if they're in uncirculated condition. However, just a few extraordinary examples have broken away from the rest due to extremely rare minting anomalies that make them not just collectible, but nearly priceless. Among these anomalies are the kinds of minting errors that even experienced numismatists might rarely come across in their lifetimes. These include dramatic double strikes, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, and rare varieties involving die rotations or clash marks. In the case of the rare 1994D quarter now considered to be worth $16 million, multiple factors have come together to elevate its status to near mythical levels. First, let's consider the die errors. A die is the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto a blank coin. Over time, dies can become worn, cracked, or even misaligned, and when these flawed dies are used during production, the coins they strike bear unique imperfections. The rarest 1994D quarter in question shows signs of an unusually dramatic die clash. This occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving parts of the reverse design imprinted on the obverse die and vice versa. When a coin is struck with these damaged dies, it exhibits ghost-like impressions of both sides overlaid in a way that is both haunting and stunning to see. But the die clash isn't the only anomaly present. The coin also exhibits what is believed to be a double denomination error. This happens when a coin is first struck with one denomination, such as a dime, and then mistakenly struck again with the dies of another denomination, in this case, a quarter. The result is a coin that displays remnants of both designs, often overlapping in jarring but fascinating ways. Such coins are exceedingly rare, especially when they leave the mint undetected and in relatively high condition. For a 1994D quarter to bear evidence of being a double denomination error, especially involving two different coin types, speaks to an extremely rare and unexplained minting mishap. Adding to the mystery is the mint mark itself. Mint marks are tiny letters on a coin that indicate where it was struck. In the case of the 1994D quarter, the D stands for the Denver Mint. However, experts have noted inconsistencies in the placement and style of the mint mark on this particular coin. Some believe it was manually repunched, a process that occurred before mint marks were routinely applied by machine. Repunched mint marks, RPMs, can lead to coins having 2 or even 3 visible impressions of the mint mark in slightly different locations. This adds another layer of rarity to an already exceptional coin. But perhaps what truly sets this particular 1994D quarter apart isn't just the minting errors alone, but the extraordinary condition in which it was discovered. Known among collectors as a specimen strike, or presentation piece, this quarter shows signs of being struck on specially prepared dies, producing a sharper, more lustrous finish than standard circulation strikes. While it's not officially classified as a proof coin, which are typically struck at the San Francisco Mint and Barron S. mint mark, it shares many qualities of high-end numismatic pieces prepared with extra care. Its extraordinary luster, sharp relief, and nearly flawless surface suggests that it may have been intentionally preserved or removed from circulation shortly after striking. As with any numismatic mystery, the story of this coin's discovery only adds to its legend. Rumor has it that the coin was found by a young collector in a roll of quarters obtained from a local bank. Noticing the unusual appearance of the coin and its odd details, the collector brought it to a coin show where experts were astonished by what they saw. After rigorous examination, including tests with microscopes and metal analyzers, the consensus was unanimous. This was not just a rare coin. It was a once-in-a-generation discovery. The coin's provenance, or ownership history, has further fueled its value. After changing hands through private collectors and high-end auctions, its final recorded sale, at a discreet, invitation-only auction attended by some of the world's most elite numismatists, reportedly closed at a staggering $16 million. This price is not only driven by the coin's physical anomalies but also by the story it carries, its flawless state of preservation, and the sheer improbability of such a coin existing in the first place. What makes this all the more intriguing is that there could, theoretically, be other 1994 quarters with similar errors still out there. While the Denver Mint did not report any major equipment failures or unusual activity during its 1994 production year, it's not outside the realm of possibility that a few error coins escaped into circulation unnoticed. This has inspired countless treasure hunters and amateur collectors to scour their coin jars, rolls of quarters, and old change drawers in search of the next legendary find. Error coins have always held a special place in numismatic circles because they represent an intersection of chance, imperfection, and history. They are the result of machinery misfires, human oversight, or sometimes even intentional tinkering. In the tightly controlled environment of the U.S. Mint, such errors are rare, and catching one before it's discarded, melted, or spent adds immense value. In the case of the 1994 quarter, the multiple overlapping errors, the unusual mint mark, and the coin's nearly pristine state all contribute to its astronomical valuation. Collectors have compared this coin to other famous and priceless examples in U.S. history, like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1804 draped bust dollar. These coins also owe their values to a combination of historical intrigue, scarcity, and error. But the 1994 quarter stands out because it belongs to a modern generation of coinage, proving that even recent coins can carry extraordinary value under the right circumstances. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC play a vital role in verifying the authenticity and condition of such coins. The $16 million 1994 quarter was graded by one of these top institutions, receiving a grade of MS68 or higher. This means the coin is virtually flawless under 5x magnification, with razor-sharp details, brilliant luster, and no significant marks or imperfections. Achieving such a high grade is rare for any coin that wasn't minted as a proof, making it even more remarkable in this case. So, what should you be looking for if you're hunting for a valuable 1994 Washington quarter? First, pay close attention to any anomalies in the design, particularly around the lettering, the edges, and the mint mark. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on planchets meant for other denominations. Also, examine the condition of the coin. While a coin with a major error can be valuable even in circulated condition, those that remain in mint state condition are exponentially more valuable. Finally, consider having any unusual finds authenticated and graded by a reputable third-party service. The 1994 quarter reminds us that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places. Even in an age where coin production is highly automated and quality control is advanced, the human element and machine imperfections still allow for rare gems to emerge. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this story serves as both a fascinating case study and a powerful motivator to keep your eyes open and your curiosity alive. Every coin tells a story. Some tell stories of historical change, wars, peace, and transitions of power. Others, like the 1994 Washington quarter, tell a story of mystery, error, survival, and incredible value. Who would have thought that a simple coin worth 25 cents could one day command millions on the auction block? And so, the legend of the 1994 quarter continues to inspire. It lives not just in museums or display cases, but in the dreams of those who still believe that the next great discovery could be sitting unnoticed in